सर थोड़ा आगे आ जाओ, डोर से आगे आ जाइए प्लीज। हाँ जी प्लीज थोड़ा आगे आ जाओ, साथ में नाम आ जाए। हाँ जी यस सर, थैंक यू सर। हाँ जी मास्क नहीं उतार थोड़ा आगे शिफ्ट कर दीजिए सर, आगे साथ में इधर आ इधर इधर दिस साइड हाँ ओके क्लोज थैंक यू।
Hello, how are you? I'm Ravneet. And you told me that you must purchase it. So how are you? That's good. And your husband? Huh? What?
Thank you.
हमारी फोटो भी सर
Hello, better. हाँ जी सर। इधर है
फर्स्ट चलानी है जिसमें सिर्फ पिक्चर दूसरी है जिसमें हमारे सारे के एक्सप्रेशन पक्का होगा।
काफी हद तक साडा काम शुरू हो गया डेपुटेशन हरियाणा से
Good evening. May I request everyone to please be seated so that we can begin the proceedings. A humble request for everyone to please take seats. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We have assembled here this evening to celebrate Dr. M.S. Johal, a great man, our teacher, my teacher, a friend and a colleague to many of you. This evening is hosted by Johal family and Dr. Johal's students. And we celebrate this day today, which is Dr. Johal's birthday, as Dr. M.S. Johal Day. And many thanks for your gracious presence here this evening. We are grateful. Thank you very much. A big round of applause for each one of your own self. We have amongst us Mrs. Johal in person. She traveled from US for this day. Harman Johal, their son, and his family are joining us online for this event. Good evening, good morning, Sunny, Amy Jahan. We have amongst us Dr. W.S. Lakra, a distinguished fishery scientist whose name is amongst the first few fishery scientists in the country. He is with us here as special guest. Thank you, sir, for your presence here. And thank you, ma'am, for being here with us. As family, friends, colleagues, his students, associates, my apologies for not mentioning all individual names. Warm greetings to all who are present here in this hall, as well as all those who are witnessing the proceedings of this evening in different parts of the world, covering almost all continents through online portals. On behalf of Johal family and Dr. Johal students, we welcome you all. You must be wondering, this event is called Dr. M.S. He lives with us, through us. And this is to take his vision forward, and I must put it on record that this idea is turning into a reality only and only due to beautiful expression of Mrs. Johal. Living in this world, I have seen when people are gone, a lot changes. It doesn't remain the same. But the way Mrs. Johal wanted to take his vision, his ideas forward, it really, really is very touching. It is only and only because of her expressions, the family's expressions. A big round of applause for Johal family. And the commitment that all of us as Dr. Johal's students we have, and your kind patronage. I'm a very proud student of Dr. Johal, and I would like to share with you, I might not get the chance to be talking to you like this. We, the students of Dr. Johal, today are in the university, starting from Himachal Pradesh University, Shimla, Punjab University, Chandigarh, Kurukshetra University, Kurukshetra, Guru Nanak Dev University, Amritsar, Delhi University, Punjab University, Patiala. All of us are serving in these universities as academics in different capacities, and many in other different institutes and in different roles in the society. And let me tell you, it is not that he had great connections, that he planted us there in these institutes. I was just sharing it with Dr. Lakra. Even before we joined these institutions, one big merit that we carried with us was, oh, you are Dr. Johal's students. And that's how we were welcomed in these institutes, and that's how we were seen. We are really, really grateful to what he has instilled in us in his living years. Before we move forward, let us witness the life journey of Dr. Johal through a pictorial compilation. The family has put in some efforts to bring some pictures of Dr. Johal from his early days till the time we could hear him, we could listen to him, we could see him. Let's watch his life journey through this pictorial diary. As a tribute, this whole evening, this whole proceeding is a tribute to Dr. Johal. Let's witness this pictorial diary, please. It's difficult to talk about him, difficult to describe those moments. The year was 91 or 92, I don't remember now exactly. Studying here in Punjab University, Chandigarh, there was a Grammy song that was given the Grammy Award, Living Years, by Mike the Mechanics. The opening line of that song was, this is a son who's singing this song for his father who's gone. And he's saying that I wish I could have told him all those things that I had to say to him in the living years. Many of us in the living years do not say what we have deep in our heart. We wait for someday, or when we will meet these people, we will go and talk to them. Time is too short. Last 2 years consumed. All of us sitting here in this hall, we have had losses of one kind or the other. These 2 years were very, very cruel. They consumed so many relationships, I would say. we couldn't be with him in the last phase. We have put in all the effort to be here, organize this event, but I wish we celebrate life each day without delaying, without waiting for a perfect day. It's not a kind of an ideal cliche thing that we listen and talk, but I suppose we have to now start acting on these. We all have seen how life is and how uncertain it is. None of us could be with Mrs. Johal, Dr. Johal in the last few days. We couldn't even attend the prayer meet. I couldn't be there in Ludhiana. Both of you. Maybe we could invite people to be sharing their experiences, but we realized it would be going in a particular lane and it will be difficult for us to be controlling our emotions. So we solicited, we requested that if some of us could record, you see, when emotions overpower many times experiences of their journey where they were with Dr. Johal. I also gave my, you can say, 1.5 to 2 minutes video bite to Onkar. Dr. Onkar compiled it. Let's listen to these experiences, and I'm sure when we are speaking, most of us, we have the same kind of feelings. It's only that it has come from us, but these are our collective feelings for Dr. Johal.
The lights be off, then you start.
Yes.
Good evening to all the esteemed members present here. I express my sincere gratitude to Mrs.Kuldip Johal for painstakingly creating this group in the loving memory of Dr. Johal, our guiding light, and bringing all his students under one roof and made a big joint family of Dr. Johal. I am the oldest student of this legendary ichthyologist, and I have long association of 50 years and privileged to work under him for such a long time. He was my teacher, guide, mentor and boss. He taught me dignity of profession and so many teaching skills, and he, in the end I say, legend lives on. He will always remain in our heart. I have one regret that in the end I was not there to bid.
Good evening, everyone. Dr. Johal, as I remember him, as I know him, it's difficult to put it into words, but he was a true Karam Yogi, I would say. And what I mean by that is that somebody for whom work was worship. And he worked selflessly. I haven't seen a Holi, Diwali, Dashera, or a Sunday, or a holiday. He even if he was there for a very short time, he was there in his office. And when he worked selflessly. He was sharing his resource with all of us. कई बारी मैं तो अमृतसर च रहना, मैं कई बारी ये सोचता, he in true sense was living the philosophy of Nanak, किरत करो ते वंड छको. And for him, his work was what was his naam. So in that sense, he was a complete man, and my salute to him. He would be with us for all these years ahead. Words fail me. I think I'll stop there. Thank you, sir, for being there. For you were there, that's why we are what we are today. Thank you.
I am Satish Kumar Dogra, Commandant in BSF. Mr. M.L. Johal has been my mentor and guide in Fisheries Department while I was doing MSc in the year 93-94. He has been a simple and optimistic person who has always been cheerful. He was always eager to help anybody. Though he wanted me to pursue my career in academics, however, due to my preference for armed forces, he allowed me to move in the armed forces. His loss has been a personal loss to me. I pray to the Almighty that his purse soul may bless us all. Jai Hind.
Good evening, everyone. I am Y.K.Rawat and I completed my PhD with Johal sir in the year 1998. It was indeed a great pleasure and privilege to work under Dr. Johal. I have very fond memories of the time spent with Johal sir. Sir taught us that with dedication and hard work, we can achieve anything and everything in all spheres of life. We learn from sir to never give up. Sir, we love you so much and we miss you so much.
Hello everyone. When I think of Professor Johal, my guide and mentor, there are so many things which come to my mind. Professor Johal was a thorough gentleman, extremely considerate, and was always more for his students. In fact, I never felt it that way that I'm not part of his family. Second is, you'll all agree that regardless of what year we did our MSc or PhD with him, he was in touch with most of us all these years. And it is regardless of the fact whether we called him or not. And this is one reason that I miss him all the more today. He was a very, very noble soul, pure soul, and he did what all he could for all his students.
Hello, I am Dr. Harinder Singh Banyal, presently working as Associate Professor in the Department of Biosciences, Himachal Pradesh University, Shimla. I have done PhD under the supervision of Professor M.S. Johal sir from 1998 to 2001 and subsequently obtained PhD degree in 2003. It is pertinent to mention here that I would not be where I am today without Professor M.S. Johal sir. He was an amazing human being, an amazing teacher and an amazing mentor who always motivated me to give my best. His leadership, mentorship and guidance made me a better person. He had such a great sense of humor and he was disciplined. He taught us how to be disciplined. We will always miss his presence. I feel lucky because I was one of his students. It was such a bliss. Still cannot decipher the fact that he has been called by the heavens. He still has his loving presence between us because a wonderful man like him is never gone. All the lessons he taught to me will be with me always. In the end, I offer my deepest gratitude to Professor M.S. Johal sir. I will cherish all the memories of him forever.
Good evening. As we all know that today we people are celebrating birthday of our teacher, Professor M.S. Johal. I consider myself fortunate that I am a student of Professor M.S. Johal. During the tenure of my PhD, he has not only taught us the intricacies of research, but taught us the intricacies of life as well. How to venture in life and how to face various difficulties if we encounter in life. So today I miss him a lot and I owe my great gratitude to him. Thank you very much.
A very good evening to the august gathering. I have known Dr. Johal since 1997 as a BSc first year student. and then I did my MSc and PhD under his guidance. Since I met him, my respect, love and admiration for him has increased day after day. He was not only a good teacher, but a true mentor who nurtured all his students academically, personally and professionally. He was a multifaceted personality, very organized, dedicated, hard-working professor. I have seen him writing books, papers, monographs with a lot of passion and love. My memories of his smiling face and priceless laughter still echoes in the corridors and the seminar rooms of the department. I am sure his mentorship does not end with his absence, but it will grow day after day.
Hi all, myself Shalini. I did my graduation and post-graduation from Punjab University, 1996 to 2001 batch. Currently, I'm residing in Auckland, New Zealand, and working as practice manager with local doctors. Once in a lifetime, you get an opportunity to know an amazing teacher like Professor Johal. Today, we all are here to celebrate a great personality. He was like a father figure to me who always helped me during my difficult times. He was the one who taught me fisheries, but also he taught me life. He, along with Mrs. Johal, treated me like their family. There are tons of memories of Professor Johal, be it academic, the seminars and conferences that we arranged and attended, or be it their family functions. I still remember Professor Johal's sister's wedding in Sector 8 Gurudwara, which we all attended as a batch. Staying overnight at Dr. Johal's house for Sunny and Ami's wedding preparation, packing their gifts whole night, and next morning rushing to find a tailor so to get some dhatis done for Dr. Johal, which he forgot, and it was a last minute thing, and the flight was same evening. I feel lucky that I was one of his students and get to know him personally, and now he is gone, but his memories will stay in our heart forever. Happy birthday, Dr. Johal.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, I would like to say happy birthday to our respected teacher, Professor Johal. I'm glad that we are celebrating this special day. Like most of you, Dr. Johal has an immense contribution in shaping my career. I did my master's under his guidance. When I finished my master's, I asked for his assistance in gaining some practical experience in fish culturing so I can immigrate to Australia. At that time, he went over and beyond. He organized my training, my stay, where I'm going to eat, like from everything, I would say, like their own daughter, which really touched my heart. I'm really thankful to him for this big favor. I think he, in real terms, he was a real guru who guided his students and helped them wherever he can. So I always want to say a big thank you to him personally, but unfortunately I never got a chance to express my feelings of thanking to him personally. So I wish he can hear me today. I really want to say a big thank you to him. So, and thanks to Mrs. Johal and the whole Johal family. Thank you so much.
Namaskar. This is Ashna Sharma, and it's indeed an honor that I am speaking on this event for Johal sir. It's tough to say that in Johal sir's memory because he's always been somewhere around, and I still do not feel that he's gone. I remember it's been long, 2012, 13, when I was doing my master's dissertation. He guided part of it through Rawat sir, and he guided age and growth aspects of my master's dissertation. Learned a lot from him. He was a man of dignity, full of knowledge, but still so humble. I know I have learned a lot from him in terms of how to be a good human being, how to be a good person, and apart from being a good researcher. I remember the last phone call we had was a video call a few months prior to when he passed away, and I was taken aback by the fact that he spoke with me for nearly an hour on one of the works that we were doing, and apart from the work which we discussed, more was the aspect which he discussed about his life, and he taught me how to be disciplined in my own field. He helped me carve my inner ways, and he said that there are certain aspects based on which you can reach the destiny which you desire. I will try my level best to stay up to what he expected from me, and I hope one day he'll be proud of students such spectacular like me. Thank you so much for considering to give a small talk on this.
For us that we had a chance to know him, to be with him in those 11 years. We've all heard, and the expression goes, that a great man has his support, strength drawn from some source. They say, yeah? So let's listen to the one who was a continuous support to all actions, expressions that we witnessed through Dr. Johal. May I request Mrs. Johal to please say a few words to all of us this evening.
I welcome you all, very dear friends, colleagues, family, and students of Professor Johal. I wish he was here today to see how much you all love him, how you all gathered from different corners of our state and outside the state. I have no words to express my feelings. How happy you have made me by your presence, and what should I say, वो warmth और वो हंसी तो डॉक्टर साहब ही आपको दे सकते थे। जब आप लोगों को मिलते थे या आप लोगों का फोन आता था, आई रिमेम्बर इतने खुश होते थे, पास बैठे मुझे लगता था कि जैसे इनको कुछ मिल गया। He used to be all red, all blooming. And I don't think I have ever seen in my life a person laughing, smiling so openly and from his heart. दिलों खुश होते से। और अकाली यूनिवर्सिटीज जो last when we had those COVID days, डॉक्टर साहब दा ही हासा मैंने यूनिवर्सिटी सुनाई दिंदा सी। And I used to say, इन्ना ना हस्या करो। And he said, क्यों? I said, नहीं, नजर लग जाती है। मैंने सिर्फ तुसी यूनिवर्सिटी हसदे सुनाई दिंदे, होर कोई भी नहीं इन्ना हसदा। So I think it's really nice of you all to be here. I have no words to say. Thank you so much. And I'm so grateful to all dear students of Dr. Johal. Sunny is away, he couldn't make it up, and we didn't want to delay it any further. He was having some important assignments at hand, and staying away for a few days was not possible. If I was here, I could have said, Sunny, what is the problem? Aja. But I was there, and I could see how busy he is and how important his presence is there. So he couldn't come. But even then, we never felt, and he also never felt, that I am going to face any problems. Everything was done by his students. Dr. Anish, Dr. Yugesh is here, Dr. Ravneet, Dr. Negi, Dr. Amkar Singh, sare he doctors are the old students in and around Punjab, Delhi, jithe bhi hege Punjabi University. So they were at work, we were at ease there. बिल्कुल ही एक बार नहीं लग्या कि सानू कोई मैनू कोई इत्थे तकलीफ है जिन्नी पिछली बार भी मैं आई इत्थे लगे ही नहीं कि मैं किसी नवी जगह पे गुप्ती जगह पे जा रही हूँ. So I'm really grateful to all dear students of Professor Johal and to all his friends and colleagues, and especially being here, taking out time from your busy schedule to be here and celebrate this day. This is just that we decided to have this day just so that we could live, or we could just remember him, remember what he did, and we could just live those loving memories of him. Thank you so much once again. Thank you so much to all of you for being here and being so loving. Thank you, Kavita. Thank you, Dr. Vivek. Dr. Jano hospitalized Versi, MCH. I think Kavita and Vivek, they were on toes, और मैंने लगा सी इन्ना कुछ हो जाना. मैंने सी डॉक्टर जल्दी ठीक हो जाना, otherwise Kavita is going to collapse. Because all the time, day and night, she used to be in touch with the COVID people, because otherwise you can't enter the COVID ward. And she could find that some of the nurses of her department were working there, they were on duty there. And she used to tell them, मेरे को ऐसे नहीं बताना 92 ऑक्सीजन है या 80 ऑक्सीजन है, मुझे मॉनिटर की फोटो खींच के भेजना. And then she used to send all the जो भी पिक्चर्स होती थी, जितनी भी डॉक्टर के टेस्ट्स होते थे, she used to send them to Sunny, Sunny used to send them abroad to his doctors. So thank you so much, Kavita. Thank you so much, Vicky. And during those days, डॉक्टर को मैंने कहा, आपको नहीं लगता कि आपको एक पहले बेटा बेटी तो ये थे ही, आपको लगता नहीं कि आपको एक बेटा और एक बेटी नए मिल गए? डॉक्टर कहते हाँ, ਵੱਡਾ बेटा ਤੇ ਵੱਡੀ ਡਾਟਰ ਇਨ ਲਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਨਾ ਇੱਥੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਮਿਲ ਗਏ, ਸ਼ਾਇਦ ਜੇ ਮੈਂ ਹਸਪੀਟਲਾਈਜ਼ ਨਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਤਾਂ ਨਾ ਮਿਲਦੀ. So thank you so much, Vicky. Thank you so much, Kavita. And Vicky is, I know him since 1973 when he was just a student of 3rd standard. He's son of Mrs. Rajinder Saggar. She was my head of department when I joined Government College for Women as a lecturer in 73. He used to be in 3rd standard. Now he's a known dentist. He has a huge and well-established, well-known clinic at Ludhiana. Kavita is head of radiology department in DMC. I'm really thankful to you both. They took care of me for almost a month. They took care of Professor Johal. And really, and Kavita's mom, she used to take care of our food, what is to be given to me, what is to be sent to the hospital. She used to keep calling me again and again, कब आ रहे हो, खाना कहाँ पे भेजो. Thank you so much. And thank you so much to all of you once again. आप सभी में मुझे डॉक्टर साहब नजर आते हैं, इसीलिए हम चाहते हैं आप इकट्ठे हो, इसीलिए मुझे होता है कि स्टूडेंट्स आप पास हैं, बिकॉज आप सभी में प्रेस सब नजर आते हैं. थैंक यू सो मच वंस अगेन. थैंक यू.
Thank you, ma'am, for your kind words. May I now request Johal sir's son, Harman Johal, we know him as Sunny, who's with us online from Chicago, US, to share his feelings and emotions with all of us. Sunny here. Sunny, give us a few seconds so that we can hear you. We don't want technology to fail us. Just a few seconds, please. Sunny, can you say a few words, please? Sunny, will you say a few words?
Can you hear me well? I can hear you.
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Bhaiya. And good evening, everyone. I want to thank everyone who is present at the ceremony today and also who are supporting us virtually for the celebration of life for Dr. Johal. With all your support, we will be honoring Dr. Johal's legacy to recognize talent every year in the field of science and research. And today is a great start for the journey. I know Dad is watching us from up above with his big infectious smile, as we all know, and giving us blessings. And I won't take too much time and will end my comments with a quote which really sums up his passion towards his students and his friends. And the quote goes, a teacher is like a campus chair for the second year for this award ceremony.
Thank you, Sunny. Thank you to you, and thank you to Mrs. Johal for sharing Dr. Johal with all of us. It is at the cost of the time that he could have given to his family, to the two of them, that he spent so much time with us, and he invested his resource in us. Thank you, Sunny. Thank you, ma'am. Sunny, please stay with us for the duration of the proceedings, please. Thank you.
Dr. Dua. Hello, Dr. Dua.
Is somebody online or is she from this hall? Sir, yes, sir.
This is Professor B.D. Joshi from Haridwar.
जी सर.
आप सुन पा रहे हैं मुझे?
बिल्कुल बहुत क्लियर सुन पा रहे हैं सर.
मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा कि आप सब लोगों ने मिलकर के हमारे बहुत दिल के अजीज दोस्त का ये सेलिब्रेशन इस दिन उनको रिमेम्बर किया है. पहले तो मैं आप सबको बहुत इसके लिए मैं आई फील माई सेल्फ इंडेटेड टू ऑल यू कि आपने इस तरीके से जोहल साहब को याद किया. और अभी ये बड़ा अच्छा हर लोग कहते थे ही हैज अ वेरी इन्फेक्शियस स्माइल एंड यू नो कि आपको थोड़ा बहुत पता है कि हम लोग एक दूसरे को 1976 में हम पहली बार मिले और इतनी लंबी हमारी एसोसिएशन रही. उनका हरिद्वार भी आना जाना था और मेरा भी चंडीगढ़ आना जाना था. फिर मिसेस जोहाल ने भी हरिद्वार से यहीं से उन्होंने पीएचडी करी So it was a family connection, or it was a great loss for us all. और ये सबसे बड़ा ताजुब इस बात का हुआ कि healthy and hearty men like MS Johal can pass away so silently. Anyway, but आज थोड़ा सा आपने उनको याद किया, बीच बीच में भी फेसबुक पे मैडम और अन्य लोग उनको याद करते रहते हैं. इस तरह से आप इस लाइट को, जो द बर्निंग कैंडल है, इट इज स्टिल नॉट एक्सटिंग्विश्ड, द कैंडल इज स्टिल बर्निंग. जैसा कि हरमन ने कहा, द कैंडल इज स्टिल बर्निंग एंड वी सी ईच अदर इन दैट लाइट. और आज आपने उस लाइट को थोड़ा सा बढ़ा दिया है. मे गॉड कीप दिस लाइट एनलाइटेंड फॉरएवर and we all remain in love and regards for my friend Johal, and the family is already there. और दुआ साहब, बहुत अच्छा लगा कि आप भी अमृतसर से आकर के यहाँ पे आपके माइक संभाला हुआ है और आप सब कर रहे हैं. मेरी आप सबको इस सबके लिए बहुत बड़ी थैंक्स टू यू. राइट. और मैडम जोहाल, यू हैव बीन लाइक एन फैमिली सिस्टर फॉर अस. हम लोग हालांकि फैशन है कि एक दूसरे को भाभी भाभी कहते हैं, लेकिन आई नो यू हैव बीन सच एन अफेक्शनेट पर्सन इन द फैमिली. जब भी मैं वहां आया या जब आप यहाँ आए, अपने पीएचडी के लिए हरिद्वार आते थे, तो आई कैन नॉट फॉरगेट कि आपकी कभी तबियत खराब रहती थी, फिर भी द वे यू हैव बीन ट्रीटिंग अस, इट इज रियली एग्जाम्पलरी. तो आपको मेरी बहुत बहुत भावभीनी लविंग एंड रिगार्डफुल रिगार्ड्स आपको. और ईश्वर करे इस प्रकार के आप जोहाल साहब को. हमारे यहाँ एक हिंदू में परंपरा है ना कि एक श्राद्ध करते हैं. द वर्ड श्राद्ध कम्स फ्रॉम श्रद्धा. तो हम श्रद्धा श्राद्ध में अपने माँ बाप को, अपने दादा दादी को, अपने लोगों को याद करते हैं. तो इट इज अ सॉर्ट ऑफ द एक्सप्रेशन ऑफ अवर श्रद्धा टुडे. तो हम सबका प्यार है MS Johal के लिए. And I am happy that I could join you all. Thank you very much for giving me time.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. We shall be taking more messages little later. Little later we'll be taking more messages to take it forward, to carry forward the legacy of Dr. MS Johal. This was very difficult when he left us, but you'll be surprised, before Mrs. Johal left for US, me, her, Sunny and few of us, in our conversations, there was a mention that it's just not that we celebrate Dr. Johal only on one particular day, each year also on one particular day, but we have to do much more than that. So, in our conversations came a reference, that reference evolved, the idea evolved, and I'm sharing it with you today. The family expressed that an award be institutionalized in the name of Dr. MS Johal. We call it Dr. MS Johal Award. And it has been decided that each year on this day, 29th April, I'm not going to be saying that it is strictly 29th April, but we will be commemorating 29th April. Some year, some day in the days ahead, if it turns out to be 30 or 31st, ma'am, with your permission, we will do it so that maximum number of people can join it, but we will be commemorating this day to be conferring the Dr. MS Johal Award each year. And this award is being given today and shall be given in the years ahead to an eminent fishery scientist as a tribute to Dr. Johal. The award comprises a memento and an award scholarship of ₹1 lakh. And the objective, the purpose of this award is to acknowledge and associate quality work in fishery science with Dr. MS Johal's name. We all wish that in the years ahead, the entire nation talks about an award which is being institutionalized today in the name of Dr. MS Johal. You can clap for that. And we're glad to share here that an academic committee, along with Johal's family, has decided to confer this year's award, 2022, to Dr. W.S. Lakra, who's here amidst us with us. Dr. Lakra, he is the ex-director of National Bureau of Fish Genetic Resources, Lucknow, and for many years he was the Vice Chancellor of the FX Institute, Fishery Institute, Central Institute of Fisheries Education, Mumbai. He was the Director, Vice Chancellor of these two premier institutions. Dr. Lakra is with us this evening. A big round of applause, please. And before we do this ceremony, award ceremony, may I request Professor Negi from Delhi University, one of Dr. Johal's students, to read an abridged biodata. His biodata is very illustrious, means like it goes in many dozens, I would say. If you could just abridge it and bring a kind of a summary of what Dr. Lakra's journey has been as a fishery scientist with the entire house. Dr. Negi, please.
Very warm good evening to all. Before I read the citation of the great scientist and researcher and human being, Professor Vijay Lakra, I would like to thank Prof.Anish Dua for giving me this opportunity to read out the citation of Professor Lakra. I must say, this is what a coincidence. As Professor Mrs. Johal has said, and Sunny has said, whenever we talk to our esteemed, my mentor, Professor Johal, there is a glow in his face. How I met Professor Lakra is again coincidence. I was in the Gurukul Comedy University as an assistant professor. And at that time, Professor Lakra was the director of International Bureau of Fish Genetics, Lucknow. And he came there as a research advisory, member of the research advisory board. And he introduced me with the big gun. Director of the National Bureau of Fish Genetics, Lakra, says he is my student. I was just trainer because I went there to learn some biotechnology tools, molecular tools on the fisheries. That is the wonderful. The Professor Johal is the one of the best student communicator I have ever seen in my life. Okay, today I am also supervisor, but we never communicate our student as the Professor Johal does. This is the biggest thing which I have noticed in the Professor Johal. So I will not take much time. So it's my privilege and honor to introduce Professor Vijay Lakra. He has done his BSc from Hansraj College, University of Delhi, MSc and PhD from HNB Garhwal, Uttarakhand, then doctorate degree from the same university. And I think Professor Johal was his expert in the doctorate of science. That I know. Is right, sir? Yeah. And then he did postdoc from the many countries. He has, as a scientist, he has published more than 250 papers, in which 180 in the research paper in national and international journals is reputed, and published so many books. And he has served as in many positions. For example, some administrative position in his career, like he was a professor and head of the Department of Genetics and Biotechnology, Central Institute of Fishery Education, Mumbai. Thereafter, he headed the director of the National Bureau of Genetics, Lucknow. And thereafter, he joined as a Vice Chancellor of Central Fishery Education, Mumbai. And he has also served as in many professional societies and chair many of the selection board and the member of the different editorial board of the reputed journals in the national and international repute. And Professor Lakra has been awarded for his commendable work as an administrator, as a human research developer, as a fishery scientist, and he has been awarded so many awards. So I will not name all. So as the instructed by the Professor Dua, you have to brief up. I have briefed up my apology. Okay, and he has been awarded Dr. M.S. Swaminathan, Best Indian Fisheries Scientist awarded, and he has also awarded V.S. Jingran Gold Medal and Dr. Hira Lal Chaudhary Leadership Award, and also the Professor J.S. Datta Munshi Award, and also the most prestigious award, FAO Fellowship Award for, and many more. And he is fellow of many national academies. For example, Academy of Agriculture Sciences, Inland Fisheries Society, fellow of the Zoological Society of India. He has guided more than 20 students under his able guidance as a PhD student, and he has completed more than 20 national and international projects and act as a principal investigator and coordinate the different projects. And he also instituted some very well-known fishery institute. For example, International Lead Center for the Swiss, with the Swiss Asia DNA barcoding at Lucknow, and the Center for the Excellence for Fish Taxonomy and Genome Resources and Fishery Cultures. Besides this, he has also coordinated many workshops, extension education programs, training, and to strengthen the young fisheries scientists. And last, sir, once again, I congratulate for being nominated at the first Johal Award for this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Negi. May I request Mrs. Johal to give away the Dr. M.S. Johal Award for the year 2022 to Dr. Lakra, please. Lakra. Mrs. Johal, and I would request Professor Dr. Kohli and Dr. Johal to please be here with Mrs. Johal while we are giving away this award. I'm sorry I didn't take your consent before announcing your name, but I know that you would not say no to me. If you could be here with Mrs. Johal while we are giving away this award. A big round of applause for Dr. Lakra, please.
On behalf of you all,
okay, yes, one more, this way, एक डॉक्टर की फोटो के साथ हो जाए. हाँ बस ओके परफेक्ट. हाँ बस ठीक है. ओके ओके ये दिस साइड. हाँ जी ये वन मोर. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And we acknowledge the presence of Mrs. Lakra here with us. Thank you, ma'am, for being here with us this evening. And I shall now request Dr. Lakra to say a few words, share his words of wisdom with all of us. Dr. Lakra, please.
Namaskar, Sat Sri Akal, and good evening to all. First of all, my heartfelt tributes, homage and respect to Professor Johal sir on his 77th anniversary. And my regards to Mrs. Johal, the Johal family, and all his students, colleagues, friends for choosing me and conferring me this first Professor Ms. Johal award. I deem it a great honor, a privilege to receive this great award. When Professor Dua spoke to me about this event, before I could discuss further, he said he has and the family has decided like this, and you have to come for this award. So for me, in fact, more than the award, it was our visit which was due to meet Mrs. Johal and all of you after his recent demise, in 2020. We know COVID has taken away so many people. I think all of us have suffered, our family, our close family. But when I heard about Professor Johal, I think Professor D.D. Joshi, he first informed me. I couldn't believe that because Professor Johal sir used to talk to me, I used to call him, he used to call me. He was, it was not only a professional relation, rather he was an elder brother for me, and he used to treat me like a younger brother. I don't know how I recall him as a senior, mentor, colleague, friend. He had different, relations at different times. As I said, for me he was an elder brother and he treated me like a younger brother. And I recollect I met him somewhere in early 90s because he used to visit Uttarakhand Garhwal University very often. And my mentor, my professor, Professor Char Singh and Professor Johal had very close relations, And there I think I met him. And then we became close, maybe in early 2000. In 2005, when I moved to when we met in 2005, when I moved to National Bureau of Fish Genetic Resources, Lucknow, he was a member of our Research Advisory Committee. So he was with us for 3 years, and he used to visit Lucknow. And then we had some conferences in the Northeast, in Guwahati. Then also he came. And after that, when I moved to Mumbai, I think Professor Johal Sahab and Madam Johal, they came to Mumbai also. And my last physical meeting was in 2015 for my DSc Viva, where he was the examiner. This is when this is a picture of our NBFGR. He was in the management, Research Advisory Committee. This is the one we could get from the record, And so two other colleagues are sitting and see, he is so shining, those days in 2007. This is of 2007. He was there. And the second picture, I don't know, is another of my DSc Viva. He was the examiner. And Madam Johal also was there in Srinagar, my family, and we had a good time in Srinagar Garhwal. After that, I think Yeah, that's what he's taking my Viva in Chandigarh University, and he's making some comment, you will be surprised to know that after my presentation, he did not ask any question. He said, I will not ask any question. So he did not ask, even the other examiner also did not ask anything. But he made remarks afterwards. After my presentation, he made his points, his comments, his remarks, very elaborate remarks. That's his way of, treating you. As I said, he had a different quality. After that, I think we used to exchange New Year greetings, and he used to call me from Akal University when he moved there, and then he used to tell me that you come to here, I'll come there. So, but then we could not physically meet, and then finally, we had to that sad event, sad day, and he left all of us for heavenly abode. This is probably not in our hands, but I think I would appreciate. I have no words to express, to appreciate or to salute all of you, Johal family and all of the students, Professor Dua and Professor Rawal, everyone, I cannot name all of you, but and the son, Harman, Sunny, he used to discuss about Sunny. Probably I have my two sons in Boston, they are settled there permanently, so he used to tell me that we'll go together and spend some time there in the US, but it never came, and he left us. So this is something I think somebody said that this annual award is one thing. I would say this Professor Johal award should spread across the country. Maybe at the national level we have this event annually somewhere in April. At the university level, at the institute level, at the department level, at the society level, we should institute, all of us including me, we should institute Professor Anish Dua Award to take his legacy forward, because he has done so much for the sector. It's not a loss to the family or to us or to his students, but it's a loss to science. It's a loss to the science of fish taxonomy. As a fishery scientist, those who know what fisheries, we do not have a fish taxonomist in this country as of today. In those days when we used to look after taxonomists, there was Professor A.G.K. Menon. Those who are from the zoology background or fishery, they know that he was one taxonomist. And after that, nobody was there. So when we used to trace an expert in fish taxonomy, it was Professor Johal from Punjab University. So that was his distinction or recognition across the country. And he was known for inland fisheries, freshwater fisheries, fish biology, fish ecology, especially fish biodiversity. A lot of work he has done for Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan, Himachal in terms of fish biodiversity, profiling. And the students, I feel so happy to see the students, they have become so big in their own capacity in different universities now. I think it's not possible to describe Professor Johal in words. That's one thing. I think he was an institution himself. His smile, is still in front of us live, and most of you must be feeling that. So I feel that his smile is still in front of us. So I think Professor Johal is watching this, and we wish him a happy birthday, and we pay our tributes, our regards, our deep regards to Professor Johal, and we'll keep this light, spread this light further in the country to remember him, I think, in the years to come. This has to be. I would, another event I remember, I think before he moved to Akal University, he wrote to me that he has a collection of books the last 40 years. And he requested me to depute someone to Chandigarh to collect some literature and books for our library in Mumbai. And I deputed a scientist. And he came and he told me that, sir, he's a huge literature and books, maybe many trunks, and those books were given and they were put in our institute, the Central Institute of Physical Education, the library. The donation he made for the university. I think this is what was his vision, that whatever books, literature he had, he said in the department here, it's not undermining any department, he said the department here, many books which are not relevant here, maybe they are more relevant to the institution of national importance where all fisheries students come across the country. So that's what again he did. Friends, I think why I'm saying that he was one of the stalwart in fisheries, because of his expertise and his international collaborations with the US Wildlife Service and Fisheries and many European nations. But he had very strong linkage with ICAR. I was in ICAR. We don't have many professors from universities who are so closely integrated with the ICAR system. He was in the Research Advisory Committee, QRT, Management Committee of several institutions, not only north but also down south. That was his linkage with UGC, ICAR, DST, Ministry of Environment. So Professor Dua said that he had a charismatic personality, and he will make friends so easily, and people will remember him, will like him so much that they will, because of his expertise and his acumen for making friends. So he was very popular. I would say he was a very popular professor even in the ICR system, and he served in many capacities. Fisheries, when we say that we miss him, we miss people in fisheries because fisheries is it's a very growing science. We all know this country has something around 14.5 million tons of fish production at present. We are second in aquaculture and third in fishery production internationally, globally. China is first. China is producing something over 70 million tons. You see the gap between the two countries. But then our fishery sector is growing at a rate of 8 to 10%. And the government of India has given special emphasis to fisheries. We are talking about now blue revolution. It's not that earlier there was something like aquaplosion in the 70s and 80s, but the term blue revolution has been very recently coined, and the country is working towards blue revolution. And when it comes to blue revolution, I think there's a lot of potential for freshwater sector. Where Professor Johal was involved in the freshwater sector, we have aquaculture development in the freshwater sector, then the development of fisheries in the wetlands, in the lake, cage farming in the reservoirs, it has a huge potential. There are a lot of emphasis on cage farming of a couple of species. And then now focus is on uplands like Ladakh and Srinagar, Uttarakhand and Himalayan states. Professor Johal was associated for Himalayan states, where now we are talking about trout farming and depletion of biodiversity. Professor Johal was so closely associated with biodiversity because biodiversity is depleting in rivers, and you see that the fish fauna is decreasing, species are becoming extinct, invasive species has entered. So that's another issue of great concern. I think the youngsters should look at these problems, in their respective states and the society. Similarly, this country has about more than 8,000 kilometers of the coastline, and there's an emphasis now on sea cage farming. Our ICR Institute, the Central Marine Fisheries Research Institute in Kochi, has developed a technology for sea case farming, and they have installed cages across the coastal states. It's a huge potential. If we utilize even 1% of the coastal area for sea case farming, you can produce something about 4 million tons of fish in the years to come. See, this blue revelation that the government of India is talking about is an umbrella scheme of an integrated development of both freshwater and marine fisheries. And our idea is to produce something around 20 million tons in the next 2-3 years. We have reached 40, but we have to cross 20 million tons. That's what the challenge is. And there are very exciting areas of research which are coming into focus now. You may be reading in newspapers about something like an in vitro fish meat production. There's a institute like Good Food Institute. It's a US-based institute, and then it has got an office in Mumbai. So they are talking about in vitro fish meat. We call it cellular aquaculture. It's a global focus now. So maybe some of the youngsters who are from fishery sector can think of developing cell lines from muscle cell lines, and think of developing a in vitro fish meat production in one area. So there is a lot of excitement in the years to come. Seaweed farming in the marine sector is another area which the Honorable Prime Minister is talking very often, and we have several species of seaweeds, and the seaweed resources and its seaweed production has enormous applications, whether it's for cattle feed or for other, nutraceuticals or other products, Why I'm sharing with you the excitement in the sector, because there is a global, even a UN emphasis of the eradication of hunger, zero hunger index, and the UN agenda. So where fisheries has to play a very important role, and there's enormous potential in the fisheries sector, which is research. I know there are many people from universities here. If you recollect, there used to be centers of excellence for fishery research in various departments. I recollect a center of excellence. Center of excellence around leaders. Like in Delhi University, there used to be a center of excellence in fish geology. Professor S.V. Goswami and Professor Sundaraj, that group. Professor P.P. Singh from Banaras Hindu University. And then you had Professor Johal, and before Professor Johal, in Punjab University. Professor Das from Kashmir University. Professor Datta and Professor Sharma from Jammu University. Like this, from Datta Munshi from Bahagulpur, Bihar, in the north. We down south, Professor Nagabhushan from Aurangabad. Professor Ramurthy from Tirupati. To name a few. So they used to be a center of excellence for advanced fish research. Now there's a challenge now for us, all of us, to keep this legacy forward. So Professor Johal and from Punjab, to carry this legacy, I think the youngsters have to work very hard. Now the institutions, the ICR institutions, have become very strong in terms of expertise, in terms of facilities and infrastructure. And the universities, but the universities are better equipped in terms of human resources, manpower. So maybe we can focus and develop collaborations. I think the partnership is very important, and we are also looking for partnerships. And when we, in many of the funding agencies, when we examine proposals, we also look for universities and institution partnership proposals, So that is how that the science of fishery should go further, Because you have a different expertise, institutions have a different expertise. If we join hands together, we can take this sector forward, to a very, very advanced level. I think I will not take your much time, but एक बार पुनः मैं आप सबको जितने भी लोग यहाँ उपस्थित हैं, so many vice chancellors, directors, students, leaders, and both offline and online. There are so many online, who are connected today to pay their respect to Professor Johal and Johal's family. मैं तहे दिल से एक बार फिर बहुत बहुत शुक्रगुजार हूँ आपका, मैडम जौहल and the entire committee for conferring this award to me and for organizing this event. तो बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. और मैं आखिर में ये कहूँगा कि if you are kind and affectionate like Johal was, you are not gone, you are still alive. You are still in our heart, alive in our heart. And we love you, Johal Sahab, we respect you, Johal Sahab. And once again, thank you all. Namaskar. Om Shanti.
Thank you, sir. And to assure you, sir, and as well as for the entire house, I would just like to share with you, this is something which is very, very important. The idea that you are seeing turning into a reality, this shall continue to evolve. You see, next year we might celebrate it in a bigger, better, or a changed format. So this is an idea that this shall continue to evolve as it takes its journey forward, and we shall seek your patronage for that, your blessings for that, while we do it in the times ahead. The family proposes that the 2 months are very, very important for us. The month in which he is born, that is 29th April today, which is his birthday, and the month of September, when he said bye-bye to all of us. In the month of September, again, there will be an academic activity. We will institutionalize it eventually in the days ahead. But this year, we did not want to delay it for the simple reason that we do not have the processes in place, so we would not do it. We thought we will do it first and then institutionalize it, so that we have started the process. So each year, the family proposes that in the month of September, an academic scholarship would be commissioned for school children. And this shall be, the objective shall be, to instill and inculcate the scientific temperament amongst the younger generation. So this could be in any form for the school children. So this would be the award ceremony in the month of April, and for the month of September, sometime in the month of September, we will be doing this activity, an academic scholarship for the school children, so that we celebrate both ends of the scientific community, one who have made a mark and have demonstrated that excellence through their research, through their contributions into the society, who have inspired many, and the other end of the spectrum, the extreme, is the generations which are going to be the future of this domain. So instilling and inculcating in them also this competence, this excellence, this scientific temperament. I know वक्त ही वक्त नहीं देता, बाकी सब कुछ तो है. हमें बैठे हुए यहाँ पे इकट्ठे तकरीबन 2 घंटे होने वाले हैं. And I know it's not easy. When we came here, we had a mixed emotions of both kinds. We are celebrating him, but we are celebrating, it's a very solemn occasion. Before we close and proceed for dinner, I would request 2 people to share live in the audience there, to short and crisp, very briefly, their views. I would request Dr. Gurvinder Sandhu. Dr. Sandhu was with Dr. Johal in Khalsa College, Ganganagar. I think he started teaching there from 1970 onwards. And knowing somebody for 50 years in different capacities, a short and crisp view of yours, and after that I would respect Dr. Kohli. They have been probably the contemporaries. They grew together in the university system, in the college, in the university system, and they are witness to each other's journey, I would say. And all of you, I know you all want to say something. There are people who have joined us online, they also want to contribute. Sometimes time resources will permit us, but we shall continue to seek your patronage, if you could. You see, we have reached thus far, and we have made this reality. We will ensure that this process that we have just begun today, it doesn't remain a holi diwali wang ek wari saal de vich nasi banaiye. This remains alive, and we continue to nurture this relationship. He was an excellent example. I still remember, I heard it from a great person. Somebody said, "You speak very well," to that great man. And he says, "No, you are wrong, I don't." So we all were stunned. What does he mean? He speaks very well. This is somebody, I don't want to drop names there. He said, "I'm not great when I speak. I'm good when I am." That's what he was. He didn't need any words. He didn't need to say anything. He could establish the connect with anybody merely by his presence. That's the magical presence that Dr. Johal had. That's how I felt in the last about, I would say, 3.5 decades. Him as a teacher in the classroom, then as a mentor for my MPhil, my PhD. And I would say that if he wasn't there, we wouldn't have been what we are today. Time is limited. We all cannot share our stories and anecdotes. But what he has done is something which is very, very big. And what he did in his living years is very significant in the field of science and the field of fisheries. But what he has contributed in society and has contributed in the society through all of us is something which is not tangible. We cannot measure that. I request Dr. Sandhu to say his brief sharing, and then Dr. Kohli. And then after, while we are having dinner, informally we shall continue to interact. And if you have ideas, you can share it with us. If you want to add richness to this entire process with your ideas, we'll be looking forward to incorporate that and actualize that. We will formally close it, so please do not get up from your seats and leave the hall. Please, it's a request. Dr. Sandhu first, and then after Dr. Kohli, please.
Respected Madam Johal, Dr. Y.K.Rawat, Professor Anish Dua, Dr.Ravneet Kaur, and dear friends, myself, Dr. G.S. Sandhu, retired Vice Principal from SGN Khalsa College, Sri Ganganagar. SGN Khalsa College, Sri Ganganagar, ਇਹ ਉਹ ਕਾਲਜ ਹੈ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਜੌਹਲ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਦੇ 16 ਸਾਲ ਗੁਜ਼ਾਰੇ। 16 ਸਾਲ ਗੁਜ਼ਾਰਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਵੱਡੀ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਗੀ। ਦਿਨ ਚੜ੍ਹਦਾ ਛਿਪਦਾ, ਦਿਨ ਚੜ੍ਹਦਾ ਛਿਪਦਾ, ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਗੁਜ਼ਰ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ, 16 ਸਾਲ ਵੀ ਗੁਜ਼ਰ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ। ਪਰ ਖਾਸੀਅਤ ਇਹ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਉਹ ਕਾਲਜ ਹੈ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਜੌਹਲ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੇ ਦਿਲ ਦੇ ਤਾਰ ਇੰਨੇ ਡੂੰਘੇ ਖੁੱਭੇ ਹੋਏ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਆਖਰੀ ਟਾਈਮ ਤੱਕ ਇਸ ਕਾਲਜ ਦੀ ਯਾਦ ਆਪਣੇ ਦਿਲ ਚੋਂ ਕੱਢ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕੇ, ਔਰ ਇਸ ਕਾਲਜ ਨਾਲ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਰਿਸ਼ਤਾ ਨਿਭਾਇਆ। ਮੈਂ ਜੌਹਲ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦਾ ਬਚਪਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਦੇਖਿਆ, ਜੌਹਲ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੀ ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟ ਲਾਈਫ ਨਹੀਂ ਦੇਖੀ, ਲੇਕਿਨ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਜਿੰਨੀ ਵੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਲਾਈਫ ਹੈ ਮੈਂ ਕਰੀਬ ਕਰੀਬ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਟੱਚ 'ਚ ਰਿਹਾ। ਜੌਹਲ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਤੋਂ MSc ਕਰਨ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ 1 ਸਾਲ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ DAV ਕਾਲਜ ਚੰਡੀਗੜ੍ਹ ਚਲਾਇਆ। 1971 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਡੇ ਰਾਜਸਥਾਨ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਨੇ ਗੰਗਾਨਗਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ MSc ਕਲਾਸਿਸ ਖੋਲ੍ਹਣ ਦਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਬਣਾਇਆ, ਔਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਕਾਲਜ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰਿੰਸੀਪਲ ਨੂੰ ਬੁਲਾਇਆ, ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਸੈਕਟਰੀ ਨੇ, और कहा, सरदार जी हम आपके कॉलेज में MSc क्लासेस देना चाहते हैं, आप प्रपोजल बना करके भेजिए। साडे कॉलेज ने 6 लैक्चरर का डिमांड की और 95% ग्रांट के उत्ते सानू 6 पोस्ट और MSc सैंक्शन हो गई। ये वो टाइम है जो गंगानगर तो लैके जयपुर तक किते भी MSc क्लासेज है नहीं सी और खालसा कॉलेज गंगानगर को MSc क्लासेज मिली। ये एडवर्टाइजमेंट ट्रिब्यून अखबार निकलिया और जौहल साहब ने वो अखबार पढ़िया और खालसा कॉलेज उन्होंने एप्लीकेशन भेजी। उस टाइम जौहल साहब ने खालसा कॉलेज का कि गंगानगर का नाम भी नहीं सुनिया कि गंगानगर किहड़े कोने च। ये थार डेजर्ट का एक पार्ट सी, सवेर तो लैके शाम तक हनेरियां चलदियां सी। सुबह एक बस चंडीगढ़ तो चलती सी जिहड़ी 9-10 घंटे ला के शाम को गंगानगर पहुंचती हुंदी सी। उस बस से चढ़ के जौहल साहब गंगानगर पहुंचे। कोई चंगे होटल उत्थे नहीं हुंदे सी, कॉलेज ने अपने लेवल ते इन्हां दी स्टे का अरेंजमेंट करवाया और नैक्सट डे जौहल साहब इंटरव्यू च अपीयर हुए। उस टाइम खालसा कॉलेज की मैनेजमेंट के सैकटरी सी सरदार निशान सिंह बराड़, जो कि रिश्ते च मेरे मामा जी लगते सीगे। वो बड़े डेडिकेटेड और बड़े स्ट्रिक्ट सैकटरी मने जाते सी। कदे भी किसी सिफारिश वाल या रिश्तेदार वाल नहीं झाकते, उन्होंने एफर्ट होंगे सी कि चंगा कैंडीडेट ही आना चाहिए। जो उन्होंने जौहल साहब का इंटरव्यू देखा, उन्होंने जौहल साहब को बुलाया और आख्या भी जौहल साहब असी थोनू ज्वाइन करा रहे हैं, लैटर थोड़ा कट रहे हैं, तुसी सानू छड्ड तो नहीं जाओगे? जौहल साहब ने कहा नहीं जी मैं नहीं छड्ड के जाऊंगा, फिलहाल मेरा कोई प्रोग्राम नहीं। और लैटर निकलिया, जौहल साहब ने ज्वाइन कर लिया। सरदार निशान सिंह बराड़ शाम को अपने घर गए और अपनी मिसेज को कहते हैं जियोलॉजी च एक कैंडीडेट आया जिन्हें कोई सवाल थले डिगण ही नहीं दिता। जो एग्जामिनर क्वेश्चन करता सी वो आंदा ही चुक लेंदे सी और उसका जवाब दे देंदे सी। वो जौहल साहब नाल बड़े इंप्रैस हुए सी और उन्होंने एफर्ट सी भी जौहल साहब जिहड़े वो छड्ड के ना जाण। वो मैनेजमेंट को कहते रहे कि तुसी ऐ करो मैडम जौहल नूं बाद जो इन्हां दी मैरिज होगी कि इन्हां नूं ज्वाइन करा लो ताकि ये किते चले ना जाण। खैर वो मैटेरियलाइज नहीं हो सकिया। जौहल साहब ने जो गंगानगर खालसा कॉलेज ज्वाइन किया, उस टाइम खालसा कॉलेज दे विच कि गंगानगर दे विच कोई रिसर्च की ABC नहीं जानता सीगा, किसी को पता नहीं सी रिसर्च की है। टीचर की क्वालिफिकेशन मैजर होंदी सी टीचर की ट्यूशन के बेस से, जिहदे कोल जिन्नियां ज्यादा ट्यूशन है उन्ना क्वालीफाइड, जिहदे कोल ट्यूशन है नहीं वो बेकार है, अनक्वालीफाइड है। रिसर्च नूं समझदे सी तां पैसे खराब करने वाली चीज है, इहदा की फायदा, ट्यूशन करो पैसा कमाओ। लेकिन उस एटमोसफेयर दे विच जौहल साहब ने उत्थे रिसर्च एटमोसफेयर डेवलप किया और उन्होंने अपनी रिसर्च जिहड़ी है वो कंटिन्यू रखी। खालसा कॉलेज च रहिंदे हुए जौहल साहब ने 1 साल यूनेस्को की फैलोशिप से चेकोस्लोवाकिया गए और चेकोस्लोवाकिया जाके प्रोफेसर ओलिवा नाल उन्होंने बड़े अच्छे रिलेशन बनाए और प्रोफेसर ओलिवा भी उन्होंने अपना बच्चा समझते रहे एंड तक। खालसा कॉलेज दे विच रहिंदे हुए जौहल साहब ने टीचर फैलोशिप वास्ते अपलाई किया और पंजाब यूनिवर्सिटी द्वारा आके प्रोफेसर टंडन के सुपरविजन PhD ज्वाइन की और PhD कंप्लीट करके जनवरी 83 दे विच दोबारा खालसा कॉलेज उन्होंने ज्वाइन किया। उस टाइम मैं खालसा कॉलेज चों अपनी स्टडी कंप्लीट करके लैक्चरर की पोस्ट ज्वाइन कर चुकिया सी दिसंबर 82 दे विच। असी बतौर कोलीग 83 तो लैके 87 तक खालसा कॉलेज रहे। 87 जौहल साहब ने पंजाब यूनिवर्सिटी चंडीगढ़ दे विच रीडर की इंटरव्यू दी और उन्होंने सिलेक्शन हो गया। जो इत्थे रीडर की इंटरव्यू दी उस टाइम उन्होंने 70 पब्लिकेशन थी जो कि खालसा कॉलेज रह के उन्होंने की थी। प्रोफेसर बाबा वाइस चांसलर थी, उन्होंने इंटरव्यू तो बाद किया जौहल साहब मैं वो कॉलेज देखना चाहता हूं जहां रह करके आपने ये इतना रिसर्च वर्क किया। सो ਕੁਆਲਿਟੀ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਕਾਲਜ ਦੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ, ਕੁਆਲਿਟੀ ਜੌਹਲ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੀ ਸੀ, ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਉੱਥੇ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਹੋਏ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਰਿਸਰਚ ਵਰਕ ਕੀਤਾ। ਗੰਗਾਨਗਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਮੈਂ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਕਿ ਸਰਦਾਰ ਨਿਸ਼ਾਨ ਸਿੰਘ ਬਰਾੜ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਇੱਜ਼ਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ, ਔਰ ਉਹ ਇੰਨੇ ਸਟ੍ਰਿਕਟ ਸੀਗੇ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਘਰੇ ਤਾਂ ਜਾਣਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਦੂਰ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ, ਕੋਈ ਗਲੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਦੀ ਲੈਕਚਰਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ ਟੱਪ ਸਕਦਾ, ਔਰ ਉਹ ਜੌਹਲ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੂੰ ਸ਼ਾਮ ਨੂੰ ਇਨਵਾਈਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ, ਜੌਹਲ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਆਇਓ, ਬੈਠਾਂਗੇ, ਆਪਾਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ। ਉਹ ਇੱਕ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਜੌਹਲ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੇ ਦੋਸਤ ਬਣ ਗਏ, ਔਰ ਉਹ ਅੱਜ ਇਸ ਦੁਨੀਆ 'ਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਗਏ ਨਿਸ਼ਾਨ ਸਿੰਘ ਬਰਾੜ ਵੀ, ਲੇਕਿਨ ਆਪਣੇ ਪੂਰੀ ਲਾਈਫ ਤੱਕ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਜੌਹਲ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨਾਲ ਬਤੌਰ ਦੋਸਤ ਦਾ ਇੱਕ ਰਿਸ਼ਤਾ ਨਿਭਾਇਆ। ਜਦੋਂ ਜੌਹਲ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਚੰਡੀਗੜ੍ਹ 'ਚ ਇੰਟਰਵਿਊ ਦਿੱਤੀ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਸਿਲੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ, ਔਰ ਉਸੇ ਦਿਨ ਇੰਟਰਵਿਊ ਵਾਲੇ ਦਿਨ ਸ਼ਾਮ ਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸਰ ਟੰਡਨ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ, ਜੌਹਲ ਤੇਰੀ ਕਿਸਮਤ ਮਾੜੀ ਸੀ, ਅੱਜ ਰੀਡਰ ਦੀ ਇੰਟਰਵਿਊ ਸੀ, ਜੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸਰ ਦੀ ਇੰਟਰਵਿਊ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਤੂੰ ਅੱਜ ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸਰ ਬਣ ਜਾਣਾ। ਇੰਨੀ ਅੱਛੀ ਪਰਫਾਰਮੈਂਸ ਜੌਹਲ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ 'ਚ ਰਹੀ। ਜਦੋਂ 87 ਜੌਹਲ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਇੱਥੇ ਆ ਗਏ, ਫਿਰ ਮੈਂ ਜੌਹਲ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਹਾ, ਜੌਹਲ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਮੈਂ ਵੀ PhD ਕਰਨੀ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਤੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ PhD ਕਰਾਓ। ਜੌਹਲ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਿਹਾ ਤੂੰ ਟੀਚਰ ਫੈਲੋਸ਼ਿਪ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆ ਜਾ ਔਰ ਮੈਂ ਤੈਨੂੰ PhD ਕਰਵਾ ਦੂੰਗਾ। 89 ਮਈ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੈਂ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਕਾਲਜ ਤੋਂ ਟੀਚਰ ਫੈਲੋਸ਼ਿਪ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਚੰਡੀਗੜ੍ਹ ਜੌਹਲ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਔਰ ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸਰ ਟੰਡਨ ਦੇ ਅੰਡਰ PhD ਜੁਆਇਨ ਕਰ ਲਈ। 5 ਨੰਬਰ ਹੋਸਟਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੈਂ ਜੌਹਲ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦਾ ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟ ਬਣ ਕੇ ਰਹਿਣਾ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰਤਾ। 89 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸਰ HR ਸਿੰਘ ਨੇ ਗੜਵਾਲ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਸ਼੍ਰੀਨਗਰ ਸੈਮੀਨਾਰ ਕੰਡਕਟ ਕਰਾਇਆ, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ, ਜੌਹਲ ਸਾਹਿਬ, ਡਾਕਟਰ ਟੰਡਨ ਔਰ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਕਈ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਸਾਥੀ ਸੀ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਜੁਆਇਨ ਕੀਤਾ। ਉੱਥੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਪਾਰਟਿਸਿਪੈਂਟ ਨੇ ਜੌਹਲ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ ਕਿ ਜੌਹਲ ਸਾਹਿਬ ये कौन है, तो जौहल साहब ने कहा कि ये मेरा स्टूडेंट है। एक बार उन्होंने कहा कि मेरा स्टूडेंट है, लेकिन नाल दी नाल जौहल साहब कहने लगे नहीं ये मेरा कुलीग है। उन्होंने मैनू अपना इत्थे कुलीग ही समझा, और कुलीग नहीं बल्कि एक छोटा भरा समझा सी। और मैडम जौहल तो उन्होंने नालों भी 2 कदम अगे सीगे। मैं होस्टल च रहिंदा सी, जो जाके जिहड़े मैं कई बारी चले जाना, ये 15 सैक्टर च रहिंदे हुंदे सी, ਤੇ ਜੌਹਲ ਮੈਡਮ ਜੌਹਲ ਨੇ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਵੀ ਲੰਚ ਕਰ ਜਾਂ ਡਿਨਰ ਕਰ, ਜੋ ਵੀ ਟਾਈਮ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ। ਮੈਂ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਜੀ ਮੈਂ ਲੰਚ ਕਰਕੇ ਆਇਆ। ਤਾਂ ਉਸ ਟਾਈਮ ਇੱਕ ਬੜੀ ਵੱਡੀ ਝਾੜ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪੈਂਦੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਸੀ, ਤੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਘਰੇ ਆਉਣਾ ਹੈ, ਰੋਟੀ ਕਿਉਂ ਖਾ ਕੇ ਆਇਆ, ਤੂੰ ਹੁਣ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਖਾ, ਜੇ ਤੰਗ ਹੋਏਗਾ ਤਾਂ ਅੱਗੇ ਤੋਂ ਯਾਦ ਰੱਖੇਗਾ। ਫਿਰ ਮੈਡਮ ਜੌਹਲ ਦੀਆਂ ਮਿੰਨਤਾਂ ਕਰਨੀਆਂ ਕਿ ਜੀ ਅੱਗੇ ਤੋਂ ਗਲਤੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ, ਅੱਗੇ ਤੋਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਹੀ ਖਾਵਾਂਗੇ। ਤਾਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਬੜਾ ਅੱਛਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਛੋਟੇ ਬ੍ਰਦਰ ਦੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਟ੍ਰੀਟ ਕੀਤਾ। ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਮੈਂ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਚਲਿਆ ਗਿਆ, ਲੇਕਿਨ ਜਾਣ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਮੈਂ ਗੰਗਾਨਗਰ 'ਚ ਆਪਣਾ ਰਿਸਰਚ ਵਰਕ ਕੰਟੀਨਿਊ ਰੱਖਿਆ। ਮੇਰੇ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਸਾਥੀ ਸੀ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕੰਟੀਨਿਊ ਰੱਖਿਆ। ਜੌਹਲ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਤੌਰ MSc ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮਨਰ ਬੁਲਾਉਂਦੇ ਸੀ, ਤੇ ਜੌਹਲ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਇਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਕਾਲਜ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ MSc ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮ ਲੈਣ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾਂਦਾ, ਲੇਕਿਨ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਗੰਗਾਨਗਰ ਨਾਲ ਮੇਰੇ ਗੂੜੇ ਸੰਬੰਧ ਹੈ, ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ मैं गंगानगर थोड़े कोल एग्जामिनर बन के जरूर आऊँगा। और वो इत्थे आउंदे रहे गंगानगर, और उन्होंने जो भी आना सारिਆਂ ਨੂੰ मिल के जाना और कहना कि गंगानगर नाल मेरा एक गूढ़ा रिश्ता है जिहड़ा कि मैं छड्ड नहीं सकदा। इत्थों रिटायरमेंट तो बाद अकाल यूनिवर्सिटी चले गए। अकाल यूनिवर्सिटी च भी वो सानू बतौर एग्जामिनर बुलाते रहे और गंगानगर भी आउंदे रहे। तो जौहल साहब एक निहायत ही शरीफ, डाउन टू अर्थ और हेल्पिंग नेचर के इंसान थे। असी सारे देवता वर्ड सुनते हैं, लेकिन देवता किसी ने देखा नहीं, पर मैं ये सोचता है कि जिहड़ा इहो जिहा इंसान है उन्होंने ही देवता कहते हैं। जौहल साहब सही मायने देवता थे। थैंक यू।
Thank you, Dr. Sallu. Professor Kuldip, please.
Good evening to you all. I am here to express
the feelings of each one of you. Mixed reaction. We lost our very good friend. People say that people have few friends. He was a man, he had so many friends. So we are all sad that we have lost him. I think you all must be having those feelings. At the same time, feelings of greetings and thanks to Madam Johal, Harman and his team for giving us an opportunity of remembering a great friend. Each one of you must be, aware, I should not be using the word, but people have said infective laughter, loud laughter. That still sounds in our mind. At Bathinda, and I have never seen him in pensive mood. I had never. And I used to call him Jolly Joel, how are you? He was like that. And I had a very few occasions of meeting Harman. A very good boy. Face of change ho gaya hai, काफी दिन हो गए मिले. But I think the values that the parents have held in him, they are great values. God bless the family, and it is very good that you are giving us the chance of meeting again, and you have given us the chance of meeting some of our very good friends. Otherwise, कामों में लग जाते हैं, ध्यान नहीं आता. So, thank you so much. I told him when he came to me, Dr. Dua, कि ऐसा आप कुछ बोलना चाहोगे? मैंने कहा टीचरों ने इतने बड़े लेक्चर दे दिए हैं, and everybody must be patiently trying to leave के time ज़्यादा हो गया. So I speak only for a minute. So I think I have taken not more than a minute. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Dr. Ravneet, the concluding remarks, please.
A very good afternoon. I'm a little bit feeling emotional today after, we are just, it's very, we lost sir in such a way that we really, really miss him. But I'm so glad that you all made it. It is seeing such a gathering and seeing people online also, it's such a nice feeling that our teacher has been loved by so many people. I'm so glad, and Sir Latra sir also, I'm so thankful that you have made it. And ma'am, it is all because of you and Harman that we could, the force behind us were you. And I would like to thank each and everyone, a big thanks to each and every one of you who are offline as well as online and offline. And now I would request all of, not taking much time, I would invite you all for the dinner. And you can have your dinner, you can bring it inside also as per told by the manager, so don't hesitate standing out only. And I invite you all for the dinner. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
ग्यारह साल आगरा यूनिवर्सिटी के वाइस चांसलर डॉक्टर जवाहर ये डॉक्टर जवाहर Congratulations. मैं डॉक्टर शर्मा सर और बहुत बहुत बधाई हो सर, कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशन सर, और वंडरफुल अचीवमेंट सर, वेल डन। We had great regard and respect for him. Very affectionate to the children. सर जैसे बताया ना श्रीनगर से तो मैंने क्या करवा लिया आई नो प्रोग्राम गया है